What's going on? What's going on? So, welcome back to another conversations with me. So, this is the time that I like to take out outside of just teaching you how to play guitar or concepts about playing guitar. I like to answer and field questions. So, um, this is what today is all about. This is something that I like to try to do on most Saturdays, if not every Saturday. Sometimes life happens, and sometimes you're not able to do everything that you want to do. So you have to make adjustments. So today, we're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to talk about gear. We're going to talk about guitar questions, um, maybe some industry questions, or just some practice tips or techniques, whatever. I just want to take this top and do that. Usually, when people come on, I like to say like, yo, give a shout out from where you are, like, a little roll call situation. So if you, when you're coming on, if you want to be like, yo, um, what's up? My name is blah, blah, blah. I'm from such and such. So that way the people in the group that are joining the live can actually know where you're from. Also, if you're not subscribed already, you should definitely subscribe and click the bell to be notified whenever I'm doing this. I'm telling you, like from time to time, I'm going to be dropping like, lessons. I think I did one yesterday when we are talking about solo techniques. So, and talking about the importance of playing the melody. So it's just something you definitely want to start checking out when you're doing those particular things, because I mean, you don't want to miss out on that stuff. All right, somebody said, "Hey, Kerry, I picked up two Mirrors pedals." I said, "Have you ever checked them out?" I've never checked out those pedals. So like, are they like overdrive pedals? What kind of pedals are they? And so like, so go ahead. ATL in the house for sure, for sure. B Ham from the UK. That's what's up. That's what's up. Um, Definitely. So if you haven't checked out the lesson from yesterday that I dropped on how to solo techniques, you should definitely check it out. Like I said before, you definitely want to subscribe and click the bell to be notified, because I'm from time to time I'm going to be doing these different lessons. So I just definitely want to make you know what's up. Roll Tide from Florida. Listen, we not playing over here. We not playing. You know what I'm saying? I got my helmet. We ready. You know what I'm saying? We ready. We stay ready. So we have to get ready. Bless up. Bless up. What's up? Richmond, Virginia in the house. Definitely. That's what's up. All right. Somebody said, when you started learning, how did you play? Please describe your roadmap. So when I first started playing, I learned a couple chords. I think the first few chords I learned were like a C chord, a G chord, and a D chord. I wasn't very good. I started out in church, so I used to play on Wednesday and Friday nights, just kind of playing that old school kind of chug situation. It was kind of like this. It sounded something like this. I was more of a rhythm player than anything. Started taking lessons in high school. From there, when I joined the military, I started like to network with other guys and just started kind of like hearing different records and started to like, oh, I can hear this, I can play this. Didn't necessarily know the names of the chord, but just stay diligent to it. So the thing about when you're learning guitar, unlike when I did, I didn't have a designated like roadmap. So what I would just say, you want to learn your chords, you want to learn your time, you want to learn your rhythm. That's essentially a lot of different things. Also, you should definitely check out my website, kerryscamp.com. We have all the stuff and we lay out a roadmap specifically telling you how to get from point A to point B. It's kerryscamp.com and it's KERYSKAMP.com. Somebody said, do you have any tips on how to make bar chords? Not twangy. So yeah, so it's about the hammer-ons, right? And then you want to also look at the action of your guitar. So that's one of the ways and one of the techniques. I have a lesson that's coming out really soon that talks about how to make bar chords. So it's something you want to definitely check out. Um, Brazil in the house for sure, for sure. What's up? Kerry, after this COVID, I hope you do a live workshop. Mark, that's in the works. So we're definitely going to try to have something for people outside of when the COVID's over. We can get together and do like a live workshop. Mirrors Mercury 7 is based on the one in popular 80s rack reverb. Oh, it's dope. I definitely need to check that out because I love a good reverb. Hey, brother, my name is Ray Rodriguez from Brooklyn, New York in the house. What's up? What's up? Nailed those gospel progressions. Appreciate it. They blow the strumming away. Oh, bet. I definitely want to check them out. If you could drop a link or something like that, that would be dope so I could check them out. Hey, from Australia. Camper. Oh, what's up? What's up, Samuel? What's up in the house? Do you ever play with nylon strings? No, I don't. I'm not a huge fan of nylon strings, me personally, but I love the way they sound when other people play it. We'll definitely check out your bar chord course. Sweet, brother. Have you checked out me on Facebook? I haven't. So, Shalane, if uh, this is Ray Rodriguez. If you want to go ahead and just like drop a link or whatever, I'll check you out on Facebook. Ever played an Ampeg reverb? No, I've never played a Ampeg. Never done that one. I'm sorry, I've never checked it out. Man, you definitely helped my playing, Joe. That's what's up. Fender, sweet, so sweet. Says I feel that COVID has ruined music for me, man. All my gigs are canceled. I mean, it's definitely as a setback, but ruin is such a strong word. I wouldn't say ruin. Is definitely it's a time that you can take to really start working on your craft. There's a lot of virtual gigs that people are doing now. People are being very creative during this time. So just think outside the box when it comes to that. Hampton, Virginia in the house. Austin, Texas in the house. Have you ever tried playing guitar synthesizer? No, I've never personally tried to play a guitar synthesizer. How does one approach a new song? How many songs to practice at one time and incorporate practice techniques? So if you're gonna, that's why it's important to really learn the number system when you're gonna approach a new song. You wanna listen to the song, identify the bass line, identify how the progression goes, write down like a little brief kind of chord chart, whether it be the number system, understand like, if you need to have a solo, if it's like acoustic or whatever, and then use that concept when you're learning multiple songs at a time. If I have a set list of like maybe like 10 songs at a time, I may do like 3 songs a day until whenever before the gig, and then like maybe the last day before the gig, I put all of it together so I know exactly how to approach it. Cool, 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 cool. All right. What do you think about the new Fender acoustic? I've never played it. I'm not a huge fan of acoustics outside of like your staples, like your Gibsons, your Taylors, your Martins. So I haven't tried it, but I'll definitely give it a try when I see one. I'm struggling with my rhythm. So what you want to do on DJs, you want to play with a metronome. If you want to play with a metronome, that kind of help keep you with your timing, so you can work on your rhythm and work on your chords in between that. And find records that like Rock With You. That's a good song to practice with. This guy produces guitarists. I'm one of them. My new COVID skills. What's up, John? I said, can I purchase any of your backing tracks? Most of my backing tracks that I get, if I'm not producing it myself, I'm finding on YouTube. So you can find them on YouTube. My pinky naturally curves towards my ring finger. Any suggestions on exercises when playing the scales? You have to be intentional. So just be intentional when you're watching like your fingers and how you're playing the scales. It's one of those things. Everybody's got something, so you have to be intentional. Find what works for you and just continue to work that method. Okay. Cool. Do you prefer tube amps or digital? Me, my PV65 Classic. I prefer, if I have to choose for a gig, backline a tube amp. But if it's the right kind of solid state, then I'll go for that as well. What about developing your ears so you can know what keys you're playing in? That's a great thing. If you want to know more about developing your ear, I have courses on ear training on my site, kerryscamp.com. That is KERRYSKAMP.com. Ear training is super important as a guitarist. Your ears are your eyes. So without your ears, you don't know where you're going. You're going to be blind. So you got to really work on that. I work and I talk about that technique all the time on ear training. It says, what do you think about B minor and diminished chords? It says, do you think B minor and diminished chords are hard? No, if you notice anything about my playing, I use diminished chords all the time. I play in B minor, use like B minor references a lot of different times when I'm playing. So no, I don't think they're hard. Let's see. It says, just found your channel, wanting to learn how to play R&B from the late 90s and early 2000s. Bet. John, I got plenty of that stuff on there. Look forward to gaining knowledge from you. Definitely. I need to develop the chords and diminish chords. John, I do all of that. That's all in there. If you look on YouTube, it says, do you work with other people's recordings for union scales, or do you freelance? It's both. I'm with the union, and I also do a lot of freelance. I'm like, so it just depends on like the paperwork and how we talk about it, and we just figure things out financially. Do you have a Vox pedal? No, I don't have a Vox pedal. It says, I'm new to R&B. Can you suggest a go-to playlist of good flavor for the genre? So Samuel, I would say if you go on like, you can just put in like YouTube or in Spotify, R&B from, you could do like the 90s and 2000s or whatever the genre is. There's a lot of different kind of cool stuff that you can listen to. Hello, Kerry. Love your playing. It says, do you have any material that is complete for beginners? Yes, Michael, if you go on kerryscamp.com, I have a whole coursework that is set up for beginners, that is set up for intermediate, and that's set up for advanced. It tells you a roadmap of how to get, how where you should be at, each benchmark that you should have when you're in identifying your plan. So you should definitely check it out. What is the good R&B amp? I like Mesa Boogie Long Stars. I like Fender DeVille's. I like the Quilter Mini Reverb. I like Bad Cat Lynx 50. There's a lot of different good amps out there. What's the best volume pedal to purchase? I say the Dunlap Volume X, in my opinion, Joe. Um, I know what keys I'm in from the number scales. I can hear all the numbers. Sweet. Um, let's just see. The sensei has spoken. We're talking about the R&B amp. Okay, I says you got any courses on quartet and gospel? Yeah. So Lonnie, if you go on my website, I have a specifically gospel music masterclass that I talk about, that I work on specifically for gospel music. So if you go on carriescamp.com, you'll see that. I have a whole section that's slated just for gospel guitars because I know how important that genre is, and I'm going to be adding stuff to it all the time. What's the best guitar for R&B? I wouldn't say the best, but some of the good go-to guitars for R&B are, you got a Fender Strat, in my opinion. I like Tellys, I like Les Pauls. Some people like to use guitars with humbuckers. It's all personal preference, but you can use any kind of guitar. I have a lesson that talks about using all three of the major guitar groups, how you can use them for R&B. All right, let me go back. Hey, Kerry, just wanted to say love your lessons. And you, oh man, I appreciate that, Phil. Appreciate that, Phil. Thank you for the heads up. Headed to Kerry's camp. Lonnie, bet. What's the challenge you're currently trying to tackle as a player, and how specifically are you approaching that? All right, so the challenge that I have right now, honestly, I don't have a challenge. I'm loving where I'm at musically. I'm loving the growth. I think maybe one of the new things, not even a new thing, a thing that I'm trying to go back to is just learning like a lot of different kind of gospel music. So I've been working on a lot of different hymns, like Lord Keep Me Day by Day, playing like different kind of like gospel guitar. I think that, I wouldn't say that's a challenge, but that's kind of where I'm at right now, my musical journey. All right, let me go back. Hi, Kerry. I'm a huge student of Steve Ray Vaughan, Texas Style Blues. It says, what are some R&B techniques, eluded or scales that will fit well with that style of playing? So Timothy, rhythm, if you're a good like Texas style, like Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of player, you cannot forsake rhythm. So R&B teaches you a lot of rhythm, a lot of pocket, that blues, and then also just even solo techniques that a lot of R&B players use. You can use that to apply to that Stevie Ray kind of Vaughan, so that way you have a different kind of voice when you're doing your solo. Kerry, have you heard of Cone? Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of them. I'm a huge fan of theirs. What instrument would you like to learn that you don't play yet? Drums, definitely. I would love to be. I'm a drummer at heart. Hello, Kerry. What are your thoughts in the future of live performances during the future? Do you think gigs will fade away? I don't know that they will fade away. It's definitely, the landscape of music is going to look different, because I saw a couple different kind of interviews where Live Nation was talking about how the artists are going to incur a lot more responsibility. So it's going to change. It's definitely going to change, but I don't think it's going to like diminish completely. I think people are going to be innovative in how they kind of like create music and display music and share music and do performances. Hi, Kerry. What pedals would you recommend? I would recommend a good tuner, a good reverb pedal, a good delay pedal, and a good overdrive pedal. John, Kerry Camp, listen, John, let the people know that Kerry's Camp works. Listen, these testimonies that some of these people are saying that are campers, they can let you know personally that Kerry's Camp works. So if you're brand new, you don't know what Kerry's Camp is, like, you can go check it out for free for 7 days. Go to kerryscamp.com. That is KERYSKAMP.com, and check that out. I see more and more virtual concerts from around the globe. Will you incorporate that technique to perform until people can? I've done a couple of different virtual performances with different artists that have asked me to do stuff like that. So yeah, I'm doing some of those now, but it's not my main focus. My main focus is to teach you guys and to share information with you guys. But yeah, I've done that. Also, for the people that are brand new to this channel, that are on this live, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so and click the notification bell, because I'm doing lessons and I'm doing these conversations at random points, and I don't want you to miss out. Also, for the people that don't know who I am specifically, hi, my name is Kerry, Kerry Marshall, Kerry Too Smooth, whatever you want to call me. I've been playing guitar for over 20 years. I'm sorry that I'm talking really fast, but that's just kind of what I do. I'm trying to deliver a lot of information in a short period of time. I played for some of the biggest pop artists in the world. I played for Jason Derulo. I've played for Tori Kelly. I played for some of the biggest R&B artists, Lettucey, your Kiana Ledays, your Tyrese. I've done production for Jacquees, for Tank, and a host of other people that I cannot talk about right now because the records have not come out yet. But I've been on tour and I've been playing for over 20 years. I've got a lot of stuff musically that I've done. So I just want to give people like a preface of who I am, so the way you understand like the things that I'm talking about when it comes to music. I know what I'm talking about. I don't know everything, but I know a lot of what I'm talking about. And there's something that I don't know. Like I'm an open book. I'm a sponge. I'll absorb it. If you introduce something to me that I don't know, I will take it. So I'm not one of these people like I'm so high and mighty that I can't listen to anybody. No, I don't know everything, so I'm willing to learn. So I just want to give you guys a preference because sometimes people are like, oh, I don't know who he is or what he does. That's who I am. So just wanted to give you a snapshot of that. Let's go jump back into some of these questions. Kerry's camp is awesome, man. I've been in there a month and it's changed the way that I play, man. Samuel, I appreciate that, man. Seriously, I appreciate that. How do you feel about the Patreon account or PayPal as fast as an online teacher? Patreon. So when it comes to Patreon and PayPal, everybody has their own technique. So it works for some people. Some people use it. Some people like to use PayPal. So whatever works, whatever works. As long as you're able to get paid doing what you do, I think that's the biggest thing. Would you recommend using the Boss ME80 on a commercial recording? Most of my records, I'm playing a Boss ME80. That's like my go-to. Like if you go on my YouTube now, not my YouTube, I'm sorry, my Instagram, you'll see a video where my wife walked in when I was like playing and jamming out this morning. I'm playing Purple Rain by Prince, and I'm using a Boss ME80. Those tones are stupid. Matter of fact, this is what I'll do. This is what I'll do. And this is just, like a little snippet. Y'all, listen, this is something that y'all can't really share with anybody else, but I'll let y'all listen to it real quick. And this is just me using the Boss ME80 for a recording, okay? I want y'all to hear how the crispness, I don't just say this just because I'm trying to sell it. I'm not endorsed by Boss. I don't gain anything by that, but I'm trying to give you like a go-to that's easy for y'all to that y'all can use. That's why I talk about the Boss. It's easy, it's functional, it's user-friendly. So that's what I'm talking about. So listen to this. All recorded with the Boss ME80. You can hear those lush tones, like it's incredible, All right, cool. So you can hear those lush tones, right? Nice. So now I'm gonna let you hear some overdrive tones in this same record that I used with the Boss ME80, right? Listen. So like you can see that like the Boss ME80 has a lot of great stuff in it. So I tell people to use that one all the time. I missed a couple different people, so let me go back and see. Nice. Just join the live. Are you open to live one-on-one lessons? Honestly, with this time, like my time is so spent like doing a lot of different things. So what I do is I encourage people to go to my website, kerryscamp.com. And the reason why I say that is there's so many lessons on there. Plus, I do a live Q&A. And then we do something called Kerry's Corner, where I talk to a lot of different guitarists that are prominent in the industry. The next person that I'm going to have, I believe it's next Saturday, is Jules the Wolf. If you're on social media, if you've been following, he's Justin Bieber's guitar player, where I'm going to have him. And so I sit down and I do interviews, and you guys get to ask questions. So that's one of the perks and one of the bonuses is that you get with being a member of Kerry's Camp. So you should definitely check it out. Do you use virtual amps like Positive Grids? So usually what I do is like I use the amps that are already on Logic. I don't really like to download a lot of different kind of like amp patches. Not that you can't do that, but that's why I like the Boss ME80 because it has an amp simulator, so I'm able to dial in the tones and really massage it how I want to. What is a good 1 hour practice day routine? It just depends Isaiah, if I'm practicing for a gig, if I'm just practicing for the sake of practicing, if I'm practicing for a session, or I'm practicing for different things. Each day changes. So if it's like a practicing for a gig, then I'm learning the songs, then I'm practicing the songs, I'm practicing the flair. If I'm just practicing for the sake of practicing, I'm going to go over chords, I'm going to go over scales, I'm going to go over licks, I'm going to go over riff, I'm going to work on timing. So it's all different depending on what that day looks like. Um, da, 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 da. Okay, lit. Kerry's camp then. Vaughn, I don't understand your question. So if you can give me a better Vaughn Hogan, what you're saying? You said I saw it says Kerry's camp and then question mark. So I didn't understand that. Let me see if I missed any questions. Um, Oh, what is Kerry's Camp? So Kerry's Camp is an online site. It's my personal online company where I teach you how to play guitar. We specify in gospel, neo soul, R&B, the different techniques. If you want to learn how to play, if you've never seen a guitar, if you're a beginner, I will take you from being a beginner all the way to advanced if that's what you desire to do. If you just want to be a hobbyist, we have stuff for you. If you want to be your local guy, we have stuff for you. If you want to be professional, we have the stuff for you. We talk about all the techniques. We talk about how to build, how to play, how to embellish, how to do substitutes. We talk about all of those different things in Kerry's Camp. There's a lot of nuggets that we have. We have over almost 600 videos, and we constantly keep doing things all the time. So it's one of those things that you gotta, you can get yourself in. You can see the different testimonials that I have of people literally all over the world. We had a guy from the UK recently do a testimonial just talking about the progression of his playing. He just got introduced to playing guitar, so we're helping guitarists all over the world tap into their full potential. Okay, cool. What do you think about LaChaz? LaChaz Holloway is a beast. Yo, like, I'm a huge fan of LaChaz. Like, the way that he can play is something that I like to mimic some of his stuff that he does. Like, I'm a huge fan of LaChaz. Better weather, Georgia or Cali? It just depends. So Cali has more dry heat. Georgia has, like, you know what I'm saying, humidity. I like both. They both offer different things. And where I lived in Cali, I could go to the beach in 30 minutes. Here, I'm a little bit further from that. But it's not like it's a huge thing for me anymore. But I love Cali weather, but I love Georgia weather. So they're both great. They just offer two different things. Or says, can you hear a Jones in my bones? Can we hear? Not today. LaChaz is a player of our gospel EP. Oh, dope, Taylor. That's what's up. Do you think you can get Agape Jerry on Kerry's Camp? I can reach out to him. Like, Agape is a real introvert, so a lot of times he doesn't like to do a lot of interviews. So I can reach out and ask, but I just don't know that he'll respond. Who's LaChaz? What about Gary Clark Jr.? All right, so John, LaChaz is like a phenomenal guitarist. You can go on YouTube right now and look up, what's the song that they're really popular for that he played with this quartet group? Just type in LaChaz Holloway and you'll see like all his videos. He's phenomenal. I love Gary Clark Jr. I met him when I was in South by Southwest years ago. I think he's a phenomenal guitarist. I would love to play for him one day. Just, one of those guest appearances where I go out there and I do like a, solo, blah, 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 and then that's it. Or if I wanted to, like, saying he needed a guitarist, I'd love to jump on his band, on his band. I would love to be a part of his band. All right. Any other questions? I got a few more questions. Tim Rogers and the Fellas. That's right. Thank you, Zamar. All right, yo. So for the person that was asking about LaChaz, type in Tim Rogers and the Fellas and LaChaz Holloway. Like, yo, that dude is like, he can make the guitar cry. You understand? Like, he's one of those guitar players when I listen to, I'm like, what is he doing? I need to figure it out. So I'm a huge fan of LaChaz. All right, cool. Kerry, are you preparing an album? It would be nice. No, I'm not working on an album. I've done an album before. I've done singles. I'm more so of like helping artists create their projects, and I'm also about teaching. So like me doing an album nowadays is probably not going to happen. I don't foresee that in the immediate future. So that's not really something that's important to me right now, my particular path in my career. Bro, you're way better than Gary. It's all relative, man. I appreciate that, but I think Gary does some things that I can't do very well. I like the way that he plays. Matter of fact, Gary has given me a lot of different shout outs on my social media, on my Instagram. He's following me, like he likes a lot of my different videos. So it's a mutual respect, man. I don't try to get into the he's better, she's better than situation. It's about mutual respect at this point. Uh, All right, cool. Well, I'll take a few more questions. Also, if you're brand new to this channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button, click the notification bell. From time to time, I will do like spot lessons. So if you want to check it out, like I just did a lesson yesterday on talking about, different soloing techniques, something that people miss out on. I'm going to be talking about a lot of different techniques outside of just soloing. We might do ear training because I saw somebody pose that question, so that might be the next one that I do. I might talk about how to like strengthen your ear and work on ear training. That might be a great lesson to kind of hop into. So just be prepared for that. What is the difference between neo soul and R&B? So neo soul, neo means new. So it's just a new concept and a new technique that a lot of like A&Rs did in order to kind of sell and brand music. But it's just modern R&B. So R&B sound changed from like the traditional Luther Vandross, stuff of that genre and that generation, and it became more neo soul. When you had like your Jill Scott, your Erykah Badu's, like what I'm saying, that became more of a new soul. But it's essentially the same. It's like R&B. It's the same in there, but you have like different like eras of R&B. So that's all it is. You missed a question. The difference between neo soul and R&B. I just answered that one, Mark. Okay. Do you use the K system when you do your solos or fills? No, Zamar. I mainly focus on pivot points, right? So I talk about that as well in Kerry's camp. I focus on pivot points off of the two, and because the two is when your root note is on the fifth string, the two sits right underneath the six. So I look at those particular shapes, those lanes, and that's how I kind of work on kind of creating like my solos. What do you think about flat wounds on an electric guitar? Like if I'm playing jazz, then that's the only time that I'll be using flat wounds, but I'm not using flat wounds just for my regular guitars. All right, I'll take a few more questions before we, we call it a day because it's Saturday, man. What y'all plan on doing today? All right, what do you think about your approach, D'Angelo Jones? I think we already talked about that. Have you ever tried steel guitar? No, I've never tried steel guitar. I think that's something that I may, at one point, I got to find somebody that knows how to play it for sure, because I would like to know what I was doing. I wouldn't just want to experiment and not really know what I was doing. So that's something I would definitely want to try at a later point. All right, come on. I'm going to take a couple more questions. What should be learned first? Arpeggios or triads? You can't say first. I would just whatever you learn. I would say, in my opinion, probably triads, but arpeggios is just you working back through the chord that you've already played. How did you get started on YouTube? I just recorded myself randomly and put out a video. That's how I got started. And then people were like what I was doing, so they just kept asking for more videos, and that's kind of like how it jump started. I'm preparing for my wedding. If you had Oh, I appreciate that, man. If I had the money, I hire you. Appreciate it. All right. I'll take one more question and then we're gonna call it a day. All right. It says, do you do sessions for guitar parts at home, or do you have to be at the studio? I do majority of my sessions I do at home. There are certain times that the artist will be like, yo, I'm at the studio, and they'll coordinate. But for the most part, I'll be like, yo, just send me the record, and you know what I'm saying, I'll do it here. All right. What's the best first amp? The best first amp I would say is the amp that's not very expensive. You could find like it just depends if you can find a good tube amp that doesn't cost you a lot, or if you can find a cool digital amp that doesn't cost you a lot, that you can make the sounds and kind of work on your overall tone. Then that's cool, kind of a cool thing. All right. Well, once I joined Kerry's camp, I'm fairly new at this. Is there any interaction? Yeah, so there's a community inside. It's like a Facebook for guitar players. There's a whole chat room where you can talk. to other guitarists. You can ask me questions. You can reach out to support@kerry2smooth.com to ask questions. Also, every first of the month, every first Thursday, we do a live Q&A where you have questions. I'll sit on there. I'll personally answer all of your questions, and we talk about how to play different kind of techniques. So yeah, Kerry's Camp is a very interactive like community. As a beginner, should I get a Squire or save up for a Mexican Strat? I mean, Squires are cool. If I were you, depending on your budget, if you have a guitar that you can play right now, I mean, play it now until you can get a Mexican Strat. That's what I would do. I like Chet Atkins style, but my household is R&B. Is there a happy medium? I love Eric Gales, and I would like to join the camp this week. You're a good teacher. Thank you. Mark, I appreciate that. Yeah, there's a happy medium, man. You can merge the two together. So like some Chet Atkins kind of vibes, you can merge those two together. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Can you expand on the 2 and 6 you just mentioned? So the 2 and the 6, we're talking about the number system. So, you know, your 1 is your root. Your 2, of course, is your 2 chord. So 2 is a minor that sits right underneath your 6. So just to show you guys real quick, because I'm not going to get caught up into the matrix. So if my root is a C, right? My 2 is going to be that D. That D sits right underneath my 6, which is my relative minor, is an A. So those two are right together. So I can use the different kind of minor pentatonic. The pivot point I was telling you about is right there on that B string. All right, cool. All right, man, listen. You guys have a great Saturday. I'm gonna see. It says the better the guitar, the more likely you are to play it. I don't know if that's necessarily true, man. When I was deployed in the Army, I had some pretty crappy guitars. I just love playing. If you love playing, you love playing. It doesn't matter. You can have a super nice, expensive guitar and still not want to play it. So I disagree about that point, but I understand what you're saying. But yeah, you guys have a great Saturday, man. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe, man. You know, saying stay well. I wish nothing but blessings upon all you guys. If you guys have not checked out Kerry's Camp, you should definitely go do so. It's KerrysKamp.com. Also, if you're brand new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell, because I'm telling you, I'm going to be hopping on here from time to time doing lessons. I think the next one that I might be doing is ear training, because I saw somebody pose that question, and that's a very good lesson for people to really know and understand. So you guys take care. Y'all stay up, man. And I love y'all, man. For real. Seriously, man. I love you guys, man. Y'all stay up. Peace.